Hi there, I'm Jonah Javad. It is night one of the NFL draft, and the Dallas Cowboys have made their selection with pick number 12. It is Alabama guard Tyler Booker. Roll Tide roll. And yes, another Tyler on the Cowboys offensive line. We go out to the Star now in Frisco, team headquarters, where our guys Joe Trahan and Mike Leslie are standing by with some analysis and reaction to the pick. Guys, I was a little surprised by this at number 12. Joe, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I was surprised too. I didn't think it was going to go down that way. I was thinking receiver, possibly. Also, I was thinking possibly cornerback, defensive back, Jahdae Barron. It could have been Matthew Golden. I was thinking maybe they'd pick a Texas kid, right? And it turns out to be an interior offensive lineman with the 12th pick in the first round. I think that feels a little rich in my blood, but let's see just how good the third Tyler on the Cowboys offensive line could be. What about you, Mike?
Listen, we've seen this team draft offensive linemen in the first round many, many times over the course of the last 15 years, and a lot of them have worked out. So I'm inclined to give a little grace here and think, you know what, if the Cowboys think that a guy that they're going to pick with the first round on the offensive line at any of the positions on the offensive line, they've got a pretty good handle on how to do that. So if they think this guy's good, first-team All-American, played at Alabama, there's a lot of things to like. 6'5", 321 pounds. There's a lot of things to like about this kid, and they're good at picking these guys. So I'm inclined to think this is probably going to work out okay.
Listen, the Cowboys have been good in the first round. They have been good in the draft, especially in the last decade and a half. I mean, they've got more All-Pros and more Pro Bowlers that have been drafted than any team in the NFL over that time span. And you mentioned it, Mike, when you think about some of the offensive linemen that they have picked, Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Tyler Smith, Tyler Guyton, still a big question mark.
Sure.
But when you look at some of those others, the Cowboys know how to draft offensive linemen, right? I still think 12 is a little rich for my blood.
Yeah, like Frederick was, I think, 31, I want to say.
Yeah, and again, their sweet spot, Zach Martin was 16. He was the highest of the bunch, right? Their sweet spot was in the teens, late teens, and 20s in terms of picking these guys. So, again, it feels a little rich for my blood, but if you can plug the guy in and he's a 12-year starter, only time will tell. The only thing that I thought the Cowboys could have also done was – at that spot, I thought there were a lot of different ways that they could go and get a quality football player. I thought they had an opportunity to make a trade and move back. Problematic, though, could have been finding a trade partner. And that will be obviously one of the first questions in the post-draft press conference.
Yeah, because I think that there were a lot of teams over the course of the early portion of this draft that were thinking about, hey, let's move back. Hey, let's move back. That 35 to 85 range is really where the meat of this draft is this year. And I think a lot of teams are trying to figure out a way to, hey, can we get out of 12? Can we get out of 16? Can we get out of 21? And have two in that ballpark where the depth of the draft is. But if everybody's trying to do that, there aren't many people that are on the other end that are saying, yeah, let's give up a couple of those because that's where the league as a whole knows where the depth of this draft is, so nobody wants to give those picks up. So, yeah, you gotta have a draft partner to be able, or a trade partner, rather, to be able to make that happen, and it makes sense that there wouldn't be a whole lot of teams that are willing.
And listen, I will take off my skeptic hat for just a second to talk about a guy like Tyler Booker because he did it in the trenches in – a league that is typified by that kind of trench warfare. And when you could get it done at an all-SEC level, be it first team or second team, when you could get it done at that level, you should be able to translate in quick order. You should be plug and play in terms of the NFL. So the interesting part, Mike, is at the Tuesday pre-draft press conference, Jerry was just effusive about the importance of offensive line. And, of course, most of us are thinking, hey, it's smokescreen city, it's lying season, but
it all
unwittingly
they don't know until they know. So,
but unwittingly, Jerry tipped his hand a little bit, which is always interesting. Whatever Jerry does, so I think we have to wait and see. I don't think this is a move where you can come out and pan it just because it feels rich, because I don't think that's fair to the kid or all the work that's gone into it. I will say this, before the pick was made, I was looking at the Cowboys War Room camera. the pick before them, once they found out what that pick was, you could tell there was a lot of happy people in that room. I do think he was targeted. And once they knew he was going to be available, there were a bunch of smiles in that room. And once they decided to make the pick, there was a lot of backslapping and a lot of happy faces.
Yeah, we'll hear them come out in a little while and say this was exactly the guy we wanted
He's
from
the only guy.
a month ago. That's just the way that these things work. Listen, if Ted McMillan had fallen to them, I think that would have been the pick. He didn't. He went 8 to Carolina. So you got to go to Plan B, and there were a number of options for them at Plan B. And I do think that Plan B probably would have been to trade back and stockpile some picks. And if there was nobody there willing to do that, or if the options that were before them were too rich or not rich enough maybe, then you go to Plan C and you got to stick and make the pick because there's nowhere else to go. Again, they've done this so many times, especially if they're going to pick an offensive lineman. If they had picked another, I don't think it's fair. Don't pick somebody from Michigan nonsense, because
I don't think it's fair
it's
either.
2 guys. Yeah. It's way too small a sample size to think that it actually has anything to do with that at all. But if they had picked a interior defensive lineman, I think there are areas where they've been good. There's areas where they've struggled. They've been good at picking offensive linemen. So if they think that this dude is for real, let's see.
It's a great track record, and now I do think we can turn the page in terms of thinking about what the Cowboys can do to try and find a top-tier running back. And you think about the Omarion Hamptons and how long will he end up on the board, and can he be available? And fortunately for the Cowboys, this is a very deep draft when it comes to running backs. So, listen, second or third round could end up being a really good pick.
They need playmakers. That much is clear. This does help them kind of across the board. You need help from a running game perspective. You need help from a passing game perspective. You figure out one of your starting offensive guards, that helps both of those realities. So this does help with that, but they do need legitimate talent. They do need legitimate weapons to take some pressure off of CeeDee Lamb, and unless they get that, Cowboys fans are going to look at this draft sideways. So that's certainly what tomorrow now has to be.
No doubt. I agree. All right, so there you have it. It's Tyler Booker from the University of Alabama. He will be a guard on the Cowboys' Tyler-centric line. The band of brothers, Tyler, his brother Tyler, and his other brother Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Yes, exactly. Everyone turn around. All right, that's all we got from the star. Tyler Booker, welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. Jonah, back to you.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, and listen, I'll piggyback on some of your comments here by myself here in the WFAA studios. We can't say whether this pick is going to be good or bad or not because we just don't know. To give it a grade is clickbait. But I will say it is a curious decision at number 12 to pick a guard because first-round picks, they come with that fifth-year option. Typically, you want to use that first-round pick on a premium position. We're talking quarterbacks, cornerbacks, trenches, guys that you can extend for that fifth-year option with a amount of money that is beneficial when you know after that rookie contract you're going to be paying him a whole lot more. Do that with a guard at pick 12, a guard who comes with legitimate quote-unquote athletic concerns. Now, I don't know how much y'all go into the scouting reports on some of these prospects, but raw athleticism scores are something that are done for these NFL prospects, and it kind of takes into a lot of things into account. Height, weight, their testing at the combine in terms of how much weight they can lift, their 40 speed, their agility drills. Tyler Booker scored a 3.68. It's out of 10. That's not good. So from an athletic standpoint, Tyler Booker is not really what you want from that. But when you put on the college tape, he's imposing and kind of has that nasty, quote-unquote, nasty edge that you want to see from players. We heard all week from the Cowboys front office that they want guys who, quote-unquote, love football. And that has been a big talking point in the NFL this year, is that there are a lot of prima donna types now in college football because of the NIL, and they want guys who genuinely love the game because it's going to inspire work ethic at the pro level. So I think that's probably part of what went into this decision to draft Tyler Booker despite the athletic concerns. They like the production. They like a guy who has that edge to him that will continue to grow and excel, hopefully at the pro level. But I still come back to it. Pick 12 to take a guard in a draft where there are a lot of good guards. and a lot of tackles who can convert to guard. To burn pick 12 on that position, I'm just not sure. So I'm not willing to say it's good or bad. It is just highly curious. They must have really not liked the receivers on the board to dismiss it at that position. But I mean, there are a lot of good edge rushers still available, and that's always a premium position and somewhere you can always use depth. So again, that's just my 2 cents. We'll see what the Cowboys do on day 2, whether they make some moves. They've got 9 picks to go in the draft, but only 2 more picks between now and round 4. So they've really got to nail these next 2 picks, because this is really, days 1 and 2 where you're looking at premium players to start right away, to make an impact. And really everyone on day 3 is, depth, may not even make the roster. So that's where it stands right now. Tyler Booker, Alabama guard. We'll see. It's another Tyler. The last 2, one's worked out, one's a work in progress. We shall see. But we'll report back day 2. Cowboys draft underway. We'll hear from Cowboys front office coming up shortly from the Star in Frisco. I'm Jonah Javad here at the WFAA studios. Enjoy the draft.